In life, you meet many people. Surely you've met some nice folks, but also a few that you'd rather not have encountered. The bad news is that you can't always avoid them, especially in your professional life, but also in your family life. In today's video, we've put together some of the characteristics of cold and heartless people. Feel free to write us in the comments section about your thoughts on this topic and share your experiences with us. If you like our videos, support us with a thumbs up, subscribe, activate the little bell, and look forward to the videos we upload for you every day. Number 1. Tactless behavior. Perhaps you know a person who tends to envy others their successes, new loves, etc. However, you might also have encountered someone in the past who took real pleasure in bullying you or those around you, humiliating you at every opportunity, or gloating about your difficulties. Anyone who celebrates the suffering of others cannot have a good character. Also, a particularly unscrupulous attention to blind self-interest is a dead giveaway for a bad character. Lack of empathy leads such characters to take pleasure in the physical and psychological suffering of others. Remorse is a foreign word to such people, who have no compunctions about harming their victims physically or mentally, and especially vulnerable souls should take shelter from them. Number 2. Manipulation and control. You must also have encountered the following type. He loves to manipulate you, for example, by being charming in an exaggeratedly friendly way. Feigned friendships in order to get information or to gain a professional advantage also points to a manipulative motive of such people. Their actions are always based upon cold calculations, never upon the intention of maintaining good relationships. Perhaps certain behavior patterns are familiar to you from your own experience, and which make you suspicious. Such behaviors are always based upon a hidden intent of manipulation. This often happens subconsciously, which paradoxically makes heartless people often act cleverly in order to hide their actual intentions. A real compulsion to control their fellow human beings, and a very negative reaction to having their contradictory behavior called out, reveals the true character of a heartless person. Number 3. They have no trace of humility or modesty. Pride is a quality that probably seems desirable to you. In fact, a healthy amount of pride can be a sign of a real person with both feet on the ground. But pride has a flip side, called arrogance. Heartless people stand out primarily through their false pride. The lack of empathy and too much self-importance leads to arrogance. As a result, such characters exude a sense of superiority, including in the workplace. You will certainly meet people who think they are particularly clever, know everything about everything, and present themselves as above reproach. As a matter of principle, they will believe themselves to be always right, and will not tolerate any backtalk. Without the important character trait of humility, such people are impossible to live with. A heartless person tramples normal human values underfoot, perhaps because he just cannot do otherwise. Number 4. Lying. Perhaps you have told a little white lie. Even the most honest person might manipulate the truth at some point. For example, in order to avoid dealing with the unpleasant question of personal weight. However, a heartless person lies all the time. You could even call such a person a chronic liar. This happens for the above-mentioned reasons of manipulation and egoism. Such a person perceives moral values as a hindrance to achieving his goals by the fastest possible route. A lie, even one with serious consequences, does not bother him. To him, love is just another lie, and even if you expose his lie, he will make little effort to apologize or even be ashamed of it. In fact, his constant lies lead to frequent conflicts. So unless there are direct negative consequences to the liar, exposure has no effect on him. Number 5. Callousness. Don't expect genuine compassion and charity from heartless people. Heartbreaking news such as catastrophes or hard fates, even in their immediate circles, will not affect them. Whereas people with a healthy portion of empathy usually respond to sadness or bewilderment among others, heartless types show a strange disinterest. And even worse, they are so hardened to bad news that it can't trigger any real reactions. Such a coldness of feeling is obvious, for example, among people with narcissistic traits. Their non-existent feelings and animalistic unscrupulousness make them very dangerous for all those people who blindly trust others. Such trusting people will be cold-bloodedly deceived and exploited. Number 6. No bad conscience. Having a conscience is already a good sign. But this heading already suggests that parts of the population have no conscience and act accordingly. In the case of heartless people, obvious misconduct does not trigger any remorse. In society, remorse helps people to learn from mistakes. Here I must give you an insight. Since to err is human, it is primarily not about mistakes per se, but about the socially appropriate handling of them. And such a person has no interest in open and honest confrontation with his behavior. Such a person has no real awareness of his own mistakes, and even if he had a spark of awareness of a mistake, he would completely fight acknowledgement by all means available, deny it, or project the failure onto others. Generally speaking, other people are to blame for everything. Denial of one's own shortcomings is applied to every situation. Amid total denial, it's impossible for a conscience to grow. Number 7. Cruelty. This term sounds harsh, and in fact it is. A heartless person can display a cruelty that is hardly comprehensible. Among other things, this has to do with his lack of emotion. A person who harms others without batting an eye does not think of himself as a philanthropist. Cruelty knows many faces. The form in which it takes place, however, does not hide its inhuman intention. Bullying can be just as cruel to those affected as slander or a physical altercation. Moreover, everyone's feelings are subjective, and different people have different thresholds of what they would consider to be cruelty. Since heartless people are completely indifferent to others' feelings, the threshold is easily crossed whenever it is convenient for these characters. Today's conclusion. In summary, heartless people can hardly present any attributes that speak in their favor. Such people can rightly be called pitiable, because everything that makes life worth living remains hidden to them. They miss out on all the joy and love that provide real highlights in life. A frustrated existence is the result. Of course, personal experiences often play a role in the development of emotional coldness, but regardless of the source, no good-hearted person would ever want to trade places with them. That's it for today.
Thanks for watching. Did you find this information helpful? Do you have experience with it? We would love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and let us know your thoughts. For more resources about mental health, self-improvement, and psychology, visit our website. You'll find the link in the video description where you can also connect with us on social media and sign up for our email list. Take care of yourself and have a beautiful day.